everyone, my name is Jordan, and welcome back to another episode of the Bukkit coding series I have on my channel. Now, there's going to be a few questions you guys probably have here. Number one, the main one being, where is the minigame series, and also, where has Bukkit coding been? Well, I haven't really been consistent with uploads, and Bukkit coding is, by far, based on a lot of statistics, my best performing series, I guess, on my channel. I mean, I really don't care too much about the statistics. I just like to keep track of my best series, and that's really all I care about on my channel. Let me actually adjust the microphone gain because you guys probably can't hear me at all. But yeah, so it's the best thing on my channel. It also I know I'm a bigger YouTuber for Bukkit coding now. By looking at the YouTube, I think the first page when you search Bukkit coding, I'm there quite a few times. I think actually I'll go ahead and do it now. I've had the first video there before, which is honestly a huge accomplishment. Let's go ahead and just type in Bukkit coding, which is kind of ironic because we really don't do Bukkit stuff with Bukkit. We do stuff with Spigot, but there we go. So the first video on the channel was actually mine here. So we got this one, which is pretty cool. I know it does say right over here with my add-on I have called VidLQ. The top creator is Pogo. Pogo629. He's actually a really great resource. I'm not dissing anyone here. I'm just saying I have the top video, but I mean, he is probably by far the better content creator and teacher for Bukkit coding. So, I mean, if you don't understand something from me, you can either ask me or ask him, or I mean, you could ask the Spigot forums. All great resources. But I mean, if you find someone better than me, use them. And also don't even limit yourself to one person. So I mean, yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is don't pick favorites. But yeah, I'm here again, and it just goes on and on. But by far, Pogo is definitely one of the higher performing people on the list here. But to answer the next two questions that I haven't really answered yet, where has it been? Well, it takes a lot of time, and I really haven't had time. If you didn't know, I don't think I really go around saying this that much because I don't care too much about it, but my school is actually it's in the top 100s for the best school in the US, which is pretty cool in my opinion. It's actually lower than 100, but I'm just generalizing it more because I don't want to give my location away. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And it's a lot of work. Just because of the way the school system is structured, there's always a lot of work to do, and it's really hard to do projects like this, but also there's a lot of time to do stuff like this, and I've been choosing to spend a lot of my time working on Saurus, and that's really all I get time to do, is I really have to pick and choose. So I'm probably going to start dividing my time a lot even more evenly, but I definitely want to get back into Bukkit coding. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's also a great stress reliever for me, and I don't know, maybe that's why I've been stressed out for the past month or so. It's probably also been from lower grades, but yeah, so we are basically done explaining where the series has been. Now, to explain where the mini-series has been, it's becoming really hard to follow, and actually, if I can find it, I will pull it up here. Minigame to episode 20 plus, here it is. So, a lot has changed since you guys last saw this, and it's become so confusing because I've added so many things in a failed episode and then also in another failed episode or so, and it just wasn't good. So I mean, we'll probably revisit the idea of making a minigame, but for now we're just ditching it and saying goodbye, and we're replacing with a quicker mini-series that's going to take probably 1, 2, 3 episodes maybe, just because I'm going to put a lot of time into this, and I mean, it's going to be something I'm going to really enjoy. Because I love doing, I don't like minigames are really fun to make, but I mean, they can be really time consuming as well, which is why that series never really went anywhere, in my opinion. It did go somewhere for a little bit, but it's not really good. But yeah, so what we're going to do today is we are going to start a new series, or mini series, and we're going to call this, the Hub series, or the Hub project actually is going to be the term we're going to use. So I'm going to go ahead and do my package name. We're going to call this Hub, and we're going to make the main class Hub. I already imported Spigot, did I not? Yes, I did. I imported Bukkit and Spigot. Well, I only imported Spigot, but you know, you guys get the idea. We're gonna have our public void on enable, all that stuff, and this class really isn't going to be used yet. So what we're gonna do now is we're actually going to start working on the cooler stuff, in my opinion. And I'm gonna put my headphones on the ground. It's hard to touch the laptop's keyboard with them in the way. So now we're gonna make our listeners package. So listeners, or as I like to call it. We're going to make one called player interact, and this is going to implement listener. This is one of the most important classes we have. This is going to control quite a lot of things in here. This and the player inventory click event class that we're going to make soon. Both of those are going to control some of the main parts of the plugin, or at least they'll be like the managers, I guess you could say. So they're going to be all the way up here at the top. If I open up a paint program, they'd be up here, and then they'd send information out like to this class, and this class. Just because I want to keep it organized, and I'm going to use as many classes as I can, while also keeping it nice and tidy, and also easy to go through. I'm going to make sure that I put comments saying what things do, just so that people, as soon as I make a GitHub project for this, people will be able to come and look at the code and be like, oh, this is what this does. And if developers want to learn how to make a hub plugin, this will be pretty perfect for them, in my opinion. And also, this will be fully configurable, and you will be able to download this as a server owner and most likely run this on your server, and it probably won't be watermarked or anything. We can't promise anything though. So now what we're going to do is we're going to finish off this method here. So we're going to call this on player interact. We're going to say player interact event e. We're going to say player equals e.getPlayer. And as soon as we have that, but as I was saying, we can go ahead and define our player object there, and now we can basically what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put a hi here. Doesn't have to be, just write something simple so you can't compile the plugin, so you know that you're not gonna leave anything unfinished. That's actually a trick that I think Dinnerbone, one of the Minecraft developers, uses a lot. Is he'll leave his code uncompilable if he's in the middle of something. So I mean, just put hi there so you know exactly what you're doing, or you can put a comment saying what you were doing. I'm just gonna put this here because we have nothing to do yet. We can actually just cancel this out because it's not needed right now, because all we have to do is declare the body and all that. So now let's go ahead and make a player. We're gonna need a player inventory click, or it'd be inventory click. We're gonna make this implement listener, do all the basic stuff like that. There we go. Inventory click event e. If e.get who clicked, instance of player, then we'll do all this. So player equals player e.get who clicked. So that's casting the entity who clicked in this, because this can be anyone can click inside of an inventory. I don't think any entity actually clicks inside of an inventory, to my knowledge. But I mean, if there was, who knows? You want to make sure this is set up the way it is, just so you won't get any errors. And we don't even have to add an else in there. It'll automatically kind of cancel or not do anything if the entity is not a player who clicked inside of the inventory. So now we have our basic stuff set up. Let's go ahead and do some stuff with commands and just finish outlining the framework here. We're going to need a fly command. So we're just going to name it fly. We're going to probably need a game mode command. Well, we're going to have a GMS command and a GMC command. Also GMSP. There's lots of different, and a GMA. There's lots of game modes we have to get in here. And I'm sure I'm probably not doing this as efficiently as I could, but, that's okay. And then GMSP. So these are all of our commands. We're not going to do anything in them yet. And these are all really basic commands. And we're also going to make a system that, what's it called? Server owners, or people who are configuring the plugin, will be able to change the, the permission that it requires. So I mean, it's not going to be any set permissions. You'll be able to change the permissions in probably like a permissions.yml file, which will be absolutely great for server owners, because that means they can make it as customizable as possible. If say you have another developer and you just for whatever reason are using this plugin, and all donor ranks have like permission donor rank dot commands or something, then they can go into the permissions.yml and then set the permission for that action. And almost every action is going to have a permission tied to it. And if the permission is set to null, it'll automatically allow the person to do that action. So you can just set it to like NA, null, something like that. We'll get into that later. But for now, we're gonna need a managers class. Actually, we need a utilities class, or not class, but package. Whoops, no. Why do I need package info.java? What? I don't know what that is. Let's go ahead and create our package here, utilities. In here, we're going to have one of our probably most used thing. We're going to have a chat util. And what this guy does is, doesn't need to do anything up there. We just have a public static string format method. And it's going to be a string for the input. We're going to return a colored version, not MD5, we're going to get it from Bukkit. We're going to return a formatted or a color formatted version of it. So that if people put and in here, or if we put and messages, then it'll automatically work. Not work, but it'll automatically be colored as long as this method is used. We're also going to create, we need a constants package. Inside of constants, we are going to have a profile class. Profile is going to have, it's going to be public profile, and it's going to take in a player. Then we're just going to do, so we're just going to have a to-do, finish this guy. Now we're going to have under utilities, actually no, never mind, we don't need that there. What we need to do is inside of this, we want to make a public static profile, get profile. We're going to return new profile from player, or from input. We're going to have a player input. Okay. So we may end up moving this method to a different class, but that's just, I'm not sure if this is bad for a bad practice to do. If it is, I will definitely inform you guys and change it over. So, I mean, if someone knows if putting this static method inside of this constructor class or this constant class is a bad idea, definitely let me know so I can fix that. And if you guys want to fix anything, just let me know and say, yeah, you're doing this wrong, and I will definitely go ahead and look it over, make sure you're right before I actually add it in, and then I will make that change for you. So now we have all this, we can make a private player, and in here we're gonna say this dot player equals player, and then we're just gonna have basic methods and stuff in here. We're gonna have a public void send message, a string message. We're going to say player dot send message. It'll auto format it for us as long as we use the profile class. We're going to say public boolean has permission. We're going to say, so we're going to have stuff in here. For now, we're just going to say return false. Just, this is going to be an empty method. So to do, finish this guy. And basically what this will do is we're going to have like a custom action class or some class, and it's not going to be a class. It's going to be an enumerator with some stuff attached to it. And it'll be like, instead of using the player.has permission, we're gonna run through profile, and we're gonna say has permission custom action.this, and then what it'll do is inside of that enum, we can actually, let's do that now really quick. We're gonna say hub action. It's going to be type of enum. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have a private string permission. We're going to do that. We're going to say hub action. We're going to do string permission. This dot permission equals permission. And then we're going to have public string get permission, return permission. And now up here, finally, we're gonna have like use or fly. We're gonna say fly underscore command. Right here, this guy is going to say we're gonna have like a permission manager dot get node or something like that, and then we'll go from there, and we'll have like you guys will get what I'm trying to do. But right here, we're going to say hub action, and we're going to say, let's see here. We're going to say if action dot, or if player dot has permission, action dot get permission. We're going to say, actually, no. We don't even need to do that. I'm overcomplicating it, some stuff already. We are just going to say return player dot has permission, because this is already a Boolean. Hub action dot fly command, or not fly command. We're gonna say action dot get permission, and this is already we're finished here. We don't even need to do any complicated code yet. Well, really, we don't need to touch this method anymore. This method is perfect. All we have to do is modify this permission here. So we're by default we're just gonna put in hub dot commands dot fly, or hub dot command dot fly. This is gonna be changeable soon-ish, I think. Actually, we can just make that changeable now. We can go and we can make a managers. Actually, no, I don't want managers. I want it under utils. We're gonna say file utility, or util. We're gonna make this a singleton so we can access it from other classes without doing some stuff through the actual hub class. It'll be accessible by file util.get instance, and we can use all the methods inside of here. We're gonna have a private static file util instance, and it's gonna be equal to a new version of that. What we're doing here is we're making this constructor of file util only accessible by itself, or from itself. So basically what this allows us to do is instantiate stuff in here, and it'll only ever happen once. Every single time it well, not once ever, but you know, once per the runtime of the program. We can just do stuff in here like set up files or do whatever. It's it's probably important to do like a setup method in here, but we don't need that just yet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say public string get permission for we don't actually need that there. We need public string get permission. Yeah, well, actually we can put hub action in there. So now we can go make another thing in here. We can say private string name, and this will be our action name. We'll also do string name, this dot name equals name, yada yada yada, all this repetitive stuff. Public string get name, and we're going to say return name. And now we can add our name here, fly. We're just going to make it lowercase. So fly. So now we're going to say what we can do is we can say private, actually here we'll make this public just in case we need it somewhere else. Public file configuration get permission. Yeah, we're just gonna say get permission file. We're going to say try. We're also gonna catch a IO exception e, print trace. So there was an error doing stuff with files or whatever. We can actually say file configuration to return equals null, and right here we can just return to return. And in here we're gonna say file equals new file from hub.get instance. Oh, we didn't make a get instance method yet. Well, that's where we failed the plugin. Just kidding. Private static hub instance, just all this basic stuff. Instance equals this. And then we're just gonna have our static method to retrieve instance. get instance. Whoops, there we go. Return instance. There we go. Perfecto. Instead of that, we can say hub.getInstance.get data folder, comma, boom, 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 done and dusted. Not really, but you know, we're done with that little part there. We're gonna name the file permission. And I mean, we could even change the file names. If the server owner wants to be that specific, we can make config.yml, run all the file names and do that. We're not gonna do that because that's a little bit overcomplicating things. We're just gonna name it permission. Like some of the file, I mean, and the users aren't gonna see the file, the files. So it's not a big deal if server owners can't change these things because I mean, no plugin really lets people change things like that. We're gonna say if file dot exists. We're actually gonna make this inverted. So if there is no file, we're gonna say file dot create new file. I think there's another method, file dot. There was something. I think make directories. It was make directory. No, it's not a directory though. I think we can just leave it like this. This should work. Else, and then we're gonna actually after that we don't even have to make an else. We can just go down there, and now it's created, so it's a thing now. We actually need to do some setup for it in a second, but don't worry. We're gonna say to return equals YAML configuration dot. I'm talking my accent again. Dot load configuration from the file, and now we can say is boolean is new file equals false. We're gonna say is new. We're gonna say right here is new file is equal to file dot exists. And we're just gonna put is new file in here. We don't even have to do anything. And then we're gonna say if it is a new file. Actually, if it is new file, I'm gonna default this to true. Else is new file equals false. Actually, we don't even need to set it. What am I doing? Okay, so now we're gonna check this again. If it is a new file, meaning it does or it still doesn't exist because this value is now defined. It's not gonna change unless we decide to change it. So if it is a new file, we're gonna say to return.set fly, comma this. This is gonna be our perm node. We're gonna say hub.commands.fly, and there we go. So that just defaulted our file. Now we can go back into this method. We're gonna return get permissions file dot get string. We're gonna get string fly or get string action.getName.to lowercase. And there we go. So now we've just made this easy system. What we can actually do now is replace this in here with file util.getInstance.getPermission this. I believe that'll well get permission. Hold on. Actually, we have to change something in file util really quick. We can't actually access it with hub action. We need to say string action. We're just gonna do this instead of whatever we had there before. I'm gonna say get. Can we say get name? This dot get name. Can't actually. I don't know if we can do that, but actually, now we don't even like need this name part anymore. Well, I guess that was kind of overcomplicating things, but you know, I didn't know it. I write code. I do these tutorials as I go. So now we need to set this to fly or fly. We can do. Doesn't matter about case anymore. So that's all set up, basically. Now we can revisit profile, and I think this is already done. Yeah, that's already done. So to test that, we can go into fly. We can say implements command executor. And now we can say public boolean on command. We're just gonna generate our default on command method. Doesn't matter. We don't even have to care about that right now. We can say if command sender is a player. So if they're a player, well, But what I was saying is we can go ahead and declare this as a player now, or declare command center as a player, because we do know that they are a player now. We're gonna say if, or no, actually we don't. We need to make a profile for him. So profile. Whoops, profile. No. I don't want to do anything to that. Profile. Let's go ahead and import that. Profile equals profile.getProfile from player. Okay, that should work. So now we can say profile dot. So we can say if profile that has permission for action dot hub action dot fly command, because this is the fly command. Then we're gonna go through with this. So then let them fly exclamation point. And then else we're gonna send them the permission denied message. And we're going to make this a generic message in like a messages file. But for now, we're just going to say player, or profile actually. Profile at send message. We can use color codes in here. We can do some fancy stuff here. We can say like HubProject. And again, do that. Let's actually change this like and 6 and F and L maybe. I don't know. This will probably look really bad, but I mean, it's okay. We'll go ahead and set this to be, you don't have the permission plus hub action dot fly command dot get permission exclamation point. So that'll be one way of testing it. We don't even need to like let ourselves fly. So yeah, we don't need to do anything of that later, but we will make sure to have a note in there saying this command doesn't actually let people fly yet. Probably important. But let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and make our plugin.yml and go ahead and test this out. Let's test this basic, really basic system we just made out. We're gonna name it HubProject just for now. We're gonna end up making it a more professional name later, but for now, HubProject. The main class or the path is us.thetrollzatd.hub.hub. Version is going to be 1.0-snapshot. So it is the 1.0 snapshot. Well, actually, really, it's not even done yet. So we're gonna say like 0.1 snapshot. And then author, we're gonna put my name in there. And there we go. Actually, I'm just gonna remove the YT. That doesn't look good. And now let's go ahead and make our artifact system. If you are confused on how to do this in IntelliJ, just go ahead and go to artifacts, new, and then make sure you remove any dependencies you have from the path, or else your file size is gonna be insanely huge. That's kind of understating things, but it's a little bit sucky if you don't do that, because I actually, when I was working on a really big project, the file sizes were like 23 megabytes, and my internet was just like not doing good at the time for like a whole month or two, and it was not good. So let me actually go and set the server up, and if I haven't already, have I? Yes, it seems like I have. Let's go ahead and paste that in there. Okay, let's go ahead and start up the server, and any things we do with packets we'll most likely need to use reflection for, and I actually don't really know how to do reflection very well, at least. I have like the basic stuff for reflection. If you don't know what that is, what's 18 is this, what's command X? Why is that a null pointer exception? That is awkward. Command fly. We never registered in here, that's why. Commands, okay, space, fly, description, let them hashtag fly exclamation point. Oh, that commented out, I forgot it's YAML markup. We'll add aliases in there later, but for now, it works. Let's go ahead and copy this. Plugins, boom. Let's go ahead and do this. I was saying something and I forgot what I was going to say, so I'll probably end up putting a comment here what I was trying to say. I don't remember. Probably wasn't important anyways. Alright, let's go ahead and go and test the server here. Or go in the server here. And now, what we can do is say, let's fly. And I don't think it was set up. Was it? No. We never saved the modifications we did in file util. So we now have to say, what do we have to do to save this again? Oh yeah, we can just say to return dot save file. There we go. That should work now. I'll make a private method in the class to save later, but for now we'll just leave it kind of basic in the code there, or in that thingy there. All right, /fly. Okay, where was this? 23 fly. Okay, let's go into here. This was generated permission. It was never set as YML. That might be something to do with it. Permission.yml. Possible, probably not, but I mean, it is kind of important to do that, or to make sure it is a YML type. I'm just gonna drag this off here because we're probably gonna be doing a lot of compilation stuff. All right, now let's fly. I expected that. Permission.yml. Okay, it doesn't generate for whatever reason, but what we can just set it really quick here. We're gonna say commands.fly. I'll look into why it didn't work soon. We're gonna do that. Fly. Looks like I have the permission. It looks like that's because I'm opt. Okay. There we go. Can I not like de-opt myself or something? Do I have to add YT seriously? Wow. Shame. Boom. So there we go. Now it says you don't have the permission hubs.commands.fly. We can actually change this, where we should be able to at least. Because now it is checking for this permission in the file. It'll literally go through and check for this permission. So we can say like swagmaster dot like not 420. That's not a good idea to put in a video. Swagmaster dot fly command or something like that. Like anything you want, you can set it to anything. And I don't have permission to use /reload. That doesn't surprise me. Let's go and do this now. Oh, does it like not like me for some reason, or did I not save it? Swagmaster.test. Let's reload this again. Am I doing something wrong? No, yeah. We'll figure out why that doesn't work soon, but I mean, the basic outline is there. I think, I'm not sure. I think we might have to here, let's stop the server. This should work at least. Or it should, not at least, it should work. Swagmaster is going to be the permission. Close that window there. Start the server back up. And now, as soon as the server starts up, we'll be able to see that it should tell us the permission is Swagmaster. Otherwise, I'll look into a fix for it. I'll also look into a fix for the file not generating its contents properly. We'll get there eventually. But I mean, it's a baby project. I mean, you can expect there to be bugs. Yeah, it's still hub.commands.fly. Well, I mean, it could be something in here. We're just gonna say system.out.print a generated new permission.yml file. Just to see if it is doing that every single time. If it is, that is probably not good. So let's go ahead and copy this, put it in here. /reload. Yeah, so it's generating a new one every time. That's why it's doing that, but I mean, so now it's not doing that, like it's the same every time. I'm sure actually if we were to change it now, it'll either give us a null pointer exception or it'll work. We're just gonna add Swagmaster on the end because we're cool kids. No, yeah, it's gonna save it, which is rather unfortunate, but I will look into saving it more permanently or saving data like that, and like a list or something. I don't know. We'll work on it, but I mean, this is it's a baby project, like I said before. So if you guys did enjoy this or the start of this new project, I know I really did. So if you guys did, make sure to leave a like, and also suggest features we can add in, like particle effects, maybe like gadgets, something like that. Just cool things that'll make it interesting and not like a generic hub plugin, because that's not the goal here. I want it to be a really unique one. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.